In 1976, National Bass Society had a tournament on Clark's Hill Reservoir, and old Hank Paca won his very first National Bass Tournament. That was 45 years ago. That is crazy. All right, buddy, we packed up. Hey, let me introduce you to my new little boy. This is Thorn. Sit. We call him Knucklehead. Sit, Knucklehead. Sit, Knucklehead. Sit. Sit. He's hard-headed, that's why he's Knucklehead. Hey, today we're headed over to Clark's Hill. It's now called Strom Thurmond Reservoir, named after Senator Thurmond. But it's where I won my first national tournament. I haven't called. I don't know what the water level is. I don't know what the water temperature is. I hadn't even looked at the long-range forecast other than I see rain and a cold front. But we're gonna head to Clark's Hill and see what we might find. Strom Thurmond Reservoir. So you stay with me, it should be a fun show. We're gonna just sort it out as we go. I'm Hank Parker. Riding along, singing a song. Oh, 45 years ago. There he is. There him he is. There him is, first fish. Jerk shad. I came up here last year, first time I'd been on the water in many years. And it's called Fishing Creek on Clark's Hill where we're at. And I came in here, I was fishing with an outdoor writer from Georgia Outdoor News. And it was in the summertime, and I had been fishing deep, trying to catch some fish off of ledges and wasn't having any luck. So I came up here and just looking around, I found this grass and I thought to myself, I said, Self, I'd sure like to fish this grass in the spring. Of course, it's dead, but I still like it. And so Self decided to come up here, and what better bait to fish this old dead grass than is an old Berkeley jerk shad. So I put me on the jerk shad and came up here and caught me one. Well, I hope they get bigger. I caught me two. Uh-oh, spoke too soon. You never count your chickens before they hatch. You never count your bass till you get them in the boat. But that's two on the old jerk shad right off the bat. We hadn't been fishing too long, so we might be on to something. "63-degree water temperature, mid-March, Clark's Hill Reservoir." That's a pretty deadly combination, really. They had a big bass tournament here over the weekend. There was about 1,500 boats hammering every little inch. It's a big lake, but there were a lot of boats, so I'm sure fishing pressure is going to make things a little tougher. love that muddy water. What's a mother to do? Bass number 2. I'm moving around looking to try to find bigger fish. I've had 4 or 5 bites on that jerk shad, and I started throwing a spinnerbait, got in muddier water. Thought I'd give that a whirl. So far, where I've been, there's a few little ones. There he is. That's more like what we're looking for there. That's more like what we're looking for there. Hey, you know, I always talk about a fishing lure is nothing but a tool. And we're going through that toolbox pretty good today, trying to figure out how to catch a bigger fish. So hopefully we'll grind out and get something going here in a little bit and get some size. You know, it's spring of the year. Clark's Hill, man, we ought to be catching some big fish. Pretty nice old bass fish. Started out throwing a jerk shad around this grass, and I decided I would go back and get in that muddy water in the back. I'm in a little place called Fishing Creek here on Clark's Hill, and I thought I'd go underneath the bridge and get on in the muddy water, and I can't find anything that looks good. And the more I tool around, the more I realize they've dropped this water. See, I don't have any information. I don't know what's going on, but this water, I can look on the bank, man, this water's falling. Well, falling water is not really a good bush pattern, not a real good pattern like we're fishing here. I may ought to get on the points, and I'm gonna try that in just a little bit. But I'm just kind of putting that puzzle together, so I put on a bladed jig and got out in front of that grass with this falling water, and I caught a much better fish on this little bladed jig. So we're gonna stay on the outside a little while and see what happens. Ooh, I better tell you what, old Clark's Hill's fishing tough. A lot of fish, we just can't find any size, but we're gonna keep pecking, so you stay with me. We'll be right back. All right, I got 2 fish finders working for me, a hummingbird and a blue heron. That blue heron right there, he's gonna show me where the bait's at. 2 birds working for me. Hummingbird and a heron. There's fish. Quarter-ounce war pig. How about that? I lost one and caught one, so I'm chasing shad back here. How about that? Is that not crazy? How about that?
Hank's Show is made possible in part by Luz, Feel the Difference, and by Minn Kota, TH Marine, Solar Bat, and Talon. This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish.
Little fella. Little fella. He's ice cold. There he is. Gosh dang it, let him come on. Talon up. Talons, boy, I tell you, They have changed fishing, and where you would just mess this little pocket up and just 1 or 2 casts, now you drop them talons and fish it real thorough. I love some talons. There he is. A little wild pig. I'm catching some Clark's Hill giants. When I won my first national tournament, it was right here on Clark's Hill. There he is. Isn't that crazy? I'm a shad watcher. In the old days, we fished with other competitors. I just wish it was about twice that big. So I had fished a tournament in New York on the Thousand Islands. I wish it was about 3 times that big. And so I didn't get here in time for practice. Well, I drew a partner that I knew, and this tournament was in July. And he told me, he said, I'm on some fish, catch them on spinnerbaits. I'm still having fun. Well, I didn't get here for practice, so what could I say? So I agreed to go with him and do his thing. Well, we fished till 10:30 that morning and never had a bite. He said they were stacked. I said, well, we ain't had a bite. I'm gonna say the water was probably coming in here, now the water's going out. So let's work our way back out. So we got out in the mouth where you could see the wide open lake, and I saw one shad jump, just exactly what we see right here. A little better. And I started toward that shad, and I'm watching my depth finder. Make a long story short, we ended up, he and I both caught a giant string that day, both over 20 pounds. And it was by seeing that one shad jump. We come back here, and we're struggling, trying to put the little puzzle together, and see a shad jump, throw this war pig over there, and catch one, hook another one. We're gonna figure something out, but right now I'm having fun. So bear with me, boys and girls, bear with me. But it's so funny how that worked, just paying attention, one little shad jump shows where the fish are sometimes. Hey, it don't always turn out like you think it should. Bear with me. So you just keep on digging. I'm having a ball. Watching the shad, isn't that something? That's amazing though, really 45 years later, same little pattern. Only the fish we were catching were 4 and 5 pounds, and my partner that day caught 8 something. Had big fish, but the last day of that tournament, I caught a 9 and won big fish and the tournament. There he is. I don't think I'm gonna get one that big in here, maybe 9 inches. This is funny how they stacked up in here, and they're in about less than 1 foot of water. Catch them on a 1/4 ounce war pig. Gotta let that thing go down and just barely touch the bottom, they'll bite it. That's fun. Let's put a little red Fritz side 5 on there and see if he'll bite it. I bet he'll bite it. Fritz side 5's running a little deep for this spot. He got it though. Laughed on that. Springtime fishing, you never know what's gonna happen, but it's really important anytime you're fishing to pay attention. Little details. I missed him that time. I only missed him once. I know they weren't big. Bigger one too. But I had fun, and we sat here and caught 6 or 8 fish simply because one fish chased a shad initially, and I threw out there and caught one.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, go boldly. And by Oceoke Fishing. More of Hank's Show coming up. This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish.
There he is. There he is. Oh yeah, a lot better. Hello, buddy. We have moved out of the dirty water on the way back to the boat ramp and gotten a little cleaner water, a little more defined grass, but I'm seeing fish everywhere and can't get them to bite. So I went to a floating worm, the old standby. There you go. He feels good, he just not good. Little floating worm up in that grass. We're catching little bass by the droves. We just ain't catching big bass. We sure put forth an effort with very little show. We caught lots of fish, but nowhere near the quality of fish that Clark's Hills produces, so I'm disappointed and dejected. Keep catching them little guys. I mean, I've enjoyed this. This is fun, but it's not what I want to bring to you guys at home. We've caught probably 30 bass today and got one bass that might weigh 3 pounds and may not have weighed that. That's more like what we're looking for. Pretty good little chunk. I'm gonna call it 3, it probably wasn't. But we've caught a lot of fish and we caught them different ways, different methods, different color water, different structure, but the results are all the same, small fish. So big fish back there. Disappointing, but I'm not gonna quit. We'll pick up tomorrow where we left off today. Hopefully it's not going to be real bad storming tomorrow. It's like an 80 or 90% chance of rain, so I'm sure it'll be raining, but let's hope it's no lightning. I'm going to tell you what, I am so determined that we're going to find a big fish. We're going to spend the night and hit this place again in the morning. So I'm going to make a move. We're up here in Fishing Creek. I'm going to Soap Creek, my old stomping ground, right where I won the tournament, and see if we can't put some big fish together. It has been really, really tough on us trying to catch quality. So stay with us. We'll be back at daylight.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild. And by Humminbird. Looking for more bass fishing tips and techniques from legendary angler Hank Parker? Go to hankparker.com. You'll have full access to all things Hank, including articles, videos, sponsor news, tips, television schedules, and much more.
We just need a bigger fish. The crazy leg chigger crawl is a great bait to have behind your little jig. Watercolor's perfect, depth is good, temperature's good. How'd I do that? Check this out. Now that's pretty cool. That'll make a man second guess his little mental capacity. I'm fishing with a brand new Super Duty luge flipping stick. Super Duty. And I think it's somewhat of a disgrace to catch 1 pound bass. Isn't that cool? All right, here we go. Well, how about get in the muddy water and start flipping and still catch little ones? What's the deal? Are there no big fish left since they renamed it Strom Thurmond Reservoir? I don't know the answer. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. The master's gone away. There he is. Oh, good one. A little better. You know, some of my most responded to shows from the viewer is when we struggle. And you never know, that's why they call it fishing. I didn't do justice to Clark's Hill or Strom Thurmond Reservoir on the size of fish we caught. But man, we worked at it hard, and we had terrible conditions, and we just weren't able to put big fish together. I don't have an answer, but I enjoyed the struggle. It seems like I always do. And it just shows what fishing's all about, and sometimes it doesn't fall in place like you want it to. So had a great time, and disappointed that we didn't catch any big fish, but happy with our numbers. And hey, it beats mowing grass, I can promise you that. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a challenge, but it was fun. So we're gonna wrap Clark's Hill up, and we're gonna head on down the road and gonna find us another lake. Thanks for being with me today. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.